Continuing on with the solutions for our mastery quiz number 2 review, what I'm going to do on this section is solve some systems. So starting on 15, I have this lovely system here, and I'm going to start writing in black. On this one, I'm going to go for elimination because I noticed that these coefficients could be very similar if I just took my first one and times by 3. And so if I times by 3, my first equation is going to be negative 15x plus 15y equals 60. And now I'm going to just take my new entire second equation and subtract that from this one. So if I take negative 15x and subtract negative 15x, I'll get 0x. So the x's are going to disappear. Negative 8 minus, make sure you do the minus 15y is going to give me negative 23y, and then I got 14 minus 60, which I'm sure I could figure that out, but I'll let my calculator do it for me. I'm going to get negative 46, and once you have that, just divide by what's in front of y, which is negative 23, and once you have that, you'll have y equals 2, just positive 2, because 46 divided by 23 is 2. And negative divided by negative is positive. So now that I have this, I can take this number and plug it into any of my y's in any of my equations. I'm going to take it and plug it into this one just because I can. So I'll get negative 15x minus 8 times 2. And then the right side I'll get 14. 8 times 2 is 16, so I got to subtract 16. Next to my negative 15x, still equals 14 on the right side. I'm going to add 16 to both sides, and you get things away from the x. You'll get negative 15x. On the right side, you'll get 30. Divide both sides by negative 15. 30 divided by negative 15 is going to give me negative 2. And there's my x value. X is negative 2, y is 2. And if you want to write that as a coordinate, it'd be negative 2, 2. Moving on to 16, looking at these ones, I noticed that, again, my x coefficients are fairly similar. If I just take that entire second one and times it by 2, I'll get negative 18x plus 2y equals negative 50, which is fine because I want to take my first equation and add this one because the x's will cancel out, they'll make 0. So I'm going to do that, just going to add this new equation that I just made by taking my second one and times it by 2. The x's disappear because 18x plus negative 18x is 0x, or just 0. 7y plus 2y is going to give me 9y. And on the right side, negative 13 plus negative 50 is going to be negative 63. I just need to divide both sides by the 9 now, and I'll get y equals negative 7. So there's my y, and once you have a y, all you have to do is take that and plug it into one of your equations. I'm going to take this and put it right in my original second equation. That'll give me negative 9x plus negative 7 equals negative 25. Well, to get rid of this negative 7 here, all you have to do is add 7 to both sides. And that'll give me negative 9x equals negative 18. And divide by that negative 9 that's in front of the x, and you get your x all by itself, which is going to make 2. And now that you have your x and y, that's the point to negative 7, which looks like that. Moving on to 17, these equations aren't like set up for elimination right now, and they're not set up for substitution either. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire first equation and my second one and multiply them by a number to make them match up. I'm going to have my y's match up just because they're close to being matched up already. Take my first one times by 2. I'm going to take my second one and times by negative 3 just so I can have a sign difference between the two. That's going to give me 16x plus minus 6y equals negative 42 for my first equation. My second one times everything by negative 3, I'll get negative 9x, positive 6y and 0, because 0 times anything is just 0. And now I have these, I'm going to add my equations together. Negative 42 plus 0 is negative 42. Negative 6y plus 6y is going to give me 0y, or just 0. And 16x plus negative 9x is going to give me 7x. Now I just need to finish out everything by dividing both sides by the 7. I'll get x equals negative 6. So now that I have this, I can take this negative 6 and plug it into one of my equations. I'm going to plug it into my original second equation to get 3 times negative 6 minus 2y equals 0. I just need to multiply these together. I get negative 18 minus 2y equals 0. Now I get my y by itself by adding 18 to both sides to get negative 2y equals 18. Divide both sides by negative 2, and you get y equals negative 9. So x is negative 6, y is negative 9, and that's the coordinates there when you're done. Moving on to 18, again, this one is just solving a system. It's of similar character as the previous one. I'm going to have my y's match up again just because they have smaller numbers right there. So I'll take my first one, and I'm going to take that and times by negative 5. And I'll take my second one times by positive 3, just for a mix-up. So my first equation times by negative 5, 5x times that negative 5 is going to give me negative 25x. The negative 3y times negative 5 is going to give me positive 15y. And then that 26 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 130. And I'm going to take my entire second one and times by the 3. That's going to give me negative 7 times 3, which is negative 21x. Negative 5y times 3 is negative 15y. And then the 28 times the 3 is going to give me 84. Now that I'm at this point, my signs are different, but the numbers are the same, so I'm going to add my equations together. I'm going to get negative 46x, and on the right side I'm going to get 46, or negative 46. And now all I have to do is get my x by itself by dividing both sides by negative 46, and I'll get x equals 1. So now I have that my x value is 1, I'm going to take that and plug it into my original first equation to figure out what my y is. 5 times 1 is just 5, by the way. Subtract the 3y is going to give me 26. 98 times the 5 times the 1, which is going to be 5. And now I need to get my y by itself by subtracting 5 from both sides, and you get things away from it. And I get negative 3y equals 21. Divide both sides by that negative 3. You'll get y equals negative 7. And now that I have my coordinates, I can write out my point 1, negative 7, and that's 18. And that's where we're going to stop for this video.